start to remove pieces or remove areas, just like you did with your styrofoam model. So let's create a new sketch on the front plane, and let's press N on the keyboard to move into a 2D view. So what I'm going to do to begin with, I know that I don't want any of this material here or here. So I'm going to use the spline tool. I'm going to try and draw a smooth curved shape that comes out of my work. Let's say something like that. I'm going to press escape, escape again. Let's just zoom in and just tweak it ever so slightly to get the curve shape that I want. Okay, so we can move any of these points just until we get exactly what we want. And I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to use the straight line tool and I'm going to join it up outside to create an outside contour. As soon as I do that, the shape fills with colour, shades in. Now by doing that, I know that it extrudes. So if I accept my work, spin it round into 3D, I know that I want to remove this from each of the layers. So if I choose extrude and choose extrude, make sure I change it to solid, pick the part that I wish to remove. So I want to go the opposite way. I want to go all the way through my material and I want to choose remove. As soon as I do that, it then asks me what do I want to remove it from, merge scope. So I click in here and I pick my front layer, my middle layer, my back layer, my top layer, my middle layer, my back layer. So by doing that, what should be happening is it should remove this shape from all of this. And so now, if I hide my sketch, and let me just edit that just to double check. For some reason I picked the whole thing. I'm quite unsure as to why that happened. There we go. That should work in that way. As you can see, so what happened for me is it made somewhat of a mistake and it had picked the entire sketch and removed everything. So I've just gone back in and checked my work. Now by doing that, you can see that it's removed that side layer. So if I just repeat that again very quickly for the other side, I'll add a new sketch on the front layer. I'll press N on my keyboard. I'll zoom in just to make life a bit easier to see. I'll use my spline line. I'm going to click 2 times here. I'm going to come outside. I'm going to press escape. I'm just going to tweak my spline just to make sure that I'm happy overall with my shape. The less number of points that I've clicked overall, the smoother my shape will be. Okay, generally that looks pretty good. I'm fairly happy with that. Then I'm going to choose the straight line tool. I'm going to connect my work. So zoom out. Let's move it. Join the end. Shades in. I'm going to accept. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to spin my work into 3D to extrude. I want to extrude all of that shape. Let's just try and get that again. There we go. And you can see the same things happen again. So it must be how I picked this shape. And by just double clicking it a couple of times, I've now got the right one. Then I'm going to drag through my work all the way through. I'm going to choose remove the material. And I need to tell it what do I want to remove. I want to remove this one, this one, this one. But I also don't want to forget the top parts. So I want to remove this one, and this one. Let's look at my preview. Okay, now again, something seems wrong because it looks like it's going to remove everything. So I'm just going to delete my faces. I'm going to pick that line there. Okay, and by doing that, suddenly everything now seems to be correct. So it's removing the material. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's almost right apart from I've missed this one. So if you miss something, we can right click and we can choose edit. Okay, so I now want to add in my merge scope. I must have missed the bit at the top. So at any point you can always go back and edit your work. Okay, and there we can see that I've started gradually subtracting layers. The next stage is to start looking at removing individual layers.